Hey guys, welcome to the shop. If you're new here, I am the convicted Christian. I'm 7 years clean and sober. I did almost 10 years in prison, and now I am free and off parole. All thanks to the love God has for me. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate all the support and everything that you guys have shown me, the comments. It really does mean a lot, and it really spurs me on, and it really gives me more drive to just continue doing what I'm doing. Hang on a second. I got to check to see if one of my light bulbs is out. Nope. Seems kind of dark in here today as I look at my camera. Anyway, we're back at a What I Learned Wednesday from my the dark parts of my high school years. If you haven't seen that video yet, it is literally the video right before this, the long form video right before this. If you want to know a little bit more about what I'm talking about, go check it out and let me know what you think, and come back here and see what I learned from the experience that I had. So, what I talked about Monday was the stuff that was going on underneath all the shenanigans and the outward things that I allowed people to see. And I'm sure there was people that could see deeper than I had wanted. But for the most part, I believe that I was fairly successful at keeping people apart from what I believed. One of the things that I learned from this time is very similar to what I learned from just the surface stuff, from the shenanigans and the crimes that I committed while in high school, and the type of person that I was give it time. Definitely give it time. You know, the whole 24-hour thing. Now, in this regard, I ended up learning a little bit more when it came to that. Because, yes, waiting 24 hours before making any large decisions that are highly emotional, while you're highly emotional, is a good idea. It's very much a good idea. Another thing that you need to wait on is it does get better. No matter how bad you think you have it. You know, I was a spoiled kid. I had an amazing family that cared about me, that tried to do the best for me, and made sure that I knew that I was loved. And a lot of kids don't have that. They don't have that support system, that backing that I had, and they're able to do phenomenal things. Which I knew that at that age. I knew that, and so I struggled with, well, why can't I do that? Why can't I be hyper successful like all the people that I see and just be a better me? Why do I have to struggle when it seems like no one else is? But that was partly my selfishness and my inability to look outside of myself, because other people were struggling with stuff. Heck, my last video, someone that I knew mention how I helped them during high school. And I know that what they're talking about, and I know how I helped them. And looking back, I'm glad that I was able to help. I'm glad that I was able to be there for that person when they needed it. At the time, I was so caught up in what I thought was wrong with my life. I didn't know how I could help them. I didn't believe I could help them. And so I didn't try harder. I could have maybe, helped more somehow. Been of better help. And I wasn't. I was too caught up in woe is me, boo hoo hoo, and it didn't help anybody. Didn't help me, didn't help them, didn't help anybody. And so something that I learned, and this is years later. For me, it's weird how my progression of learning has gone about. So I've done all this stuff, and I continue doing it to about the age of 29, and then I'm 37 now, but my learning was like in reverse. So the things that I learned first came from from 29 years old, and then I learned things from the age of 28 and 27, 26, 25, 24, all the way down. And so it took me the longest to get to this part, partly because I was afraid of the feelings that I had of this time, because when you look back at tough things that happened to you, the less, it seems like for me at least, the less I remember, the more scary it is. Scary is not the right word. More apprehensive I am about what I'm going to learn about myself, about my behaviors, about what I really did to the people close to me, mentally, emotionally. And so it was definitely one of the last things, and it continues down to what I believe was my first potential issue of the feeling of abandonment. But during this time, I learned that, one, things change. And especially in high school. When I was in high school, things were changing so rapidly. Partly because of my choices, and partly because things change. And when you're younger, it's a whole lot easier to get that change to happen and to roll with it. You gotta roll with them punches. You gotta be able to take it on the chin while also dishing it out to life. It's a lot easier when you're younger. And had I just waited to try my first cigarette, to try drinking, to try using drugs, things might have been better. But I was so caught up in myself, in my problems, that I didn't think I had a choice. I've since learned that you always have a choice. No matter how hard that choice is, you always have a choice. And what we choose to do with that choice is going to dictate what road we take. And someday down the road, maybe I'll get back to where I should have been, so that I can live the life that I may have lived at one point. But it would have been a hard battle to get there. So if you're dealing with things right now that you think cannot be any worse, they're never going to change, things change. Give it time. 24 hours. 3 days, 5 days, a week. Give it some time. Give it time, and I guarantee you things will change. Either you change, the way you feel about it, the way you're able to cope with it, the way that, or the tools that you're at your disposal may alter and change, or the situation changes. Give it time. You don't need to do anything drastic. You don't need to do anything shocking. And you definitely don't need to do anything that hurts you or those around you. Give it time. Something that I really struggled with was to learn was that one of the best ways to get over my problems was to help other people with their problems. And even now, saying it, it sounds counterintuitive. It doesn't sound right. But I know it works. Because I've seen it work. And I've helped make it work. And so, like, it boggles my mind when I hear that. Because it doesn't make sense. And my type of brain, I need to make it make sense. I never will, but I really want to try. And so, once I was able to learn that, once I was able to get beyond myself and really care about what was happening to other people, or my family, or my wife, my kids, it helped shrink my problems a little bit. But it also gave me a way to deal with it in its own time. It gave me time. Because you can't be dealing with your stuff and their stuff all at the same time. You can't. It gets too messy. You can try. I guarantee you, you're not going to succeed in either venture. And so while you're worrying about their thing, it gives you time to think, reflect, and maybe things change by the time you're ready to get to your problem. And fix the things that are going on with you. So getting out of yourself and serving others. I know, big scary Christian word, serving. Here's another way. If you're not a Christian, giving it out to the universe or whatever you call it, giving it out so it can come back to you. That's another way to look at it. If that's what you believe. I served others. And not, for me, it's not to receive anything in return. You can't receive something from the service that you're giving. Because then it completely defeats the purpose of serving. That's anathema to what you're trying to do. You serve because other people need your help. Other people are they themselves struggling. And you may be the only person that can help them. Or you're the only person that can get there in time to help them. Before they make a drastic decision. So, the two major things that I got was from this time in my life, along with the other stuff that I learned from the surface stuff, and this, things change. Give it time. And come out of yourself and your own problems and help others with theirs. And if you do that, I can't guarantee you that things are going to get better. I can't guarantee you that life is going to magically turn into sunshine and rainbows. But I can guarantee you You'll have more time. You'll be better connected to those that you love. And when it is time for you to deal with your problems, you'll come at it with a fresh mind as well as a fresh heart. And you can take care of this. You don't have to go down drastic roads. You don't have to do any harm to yourself or others. You can do it. I believe in you. If no one else in your life believes in you, I don't know who you are. I don't know what gender you are. I don't know where you come from. I don't know your name. I don't know what your hair looks like. I don't know what your eye color is. I don't know you. But I believe in you. I believe that you can do this. I believe that you can overcome whatever you're going through right now in this time. And I know you can get through this, whatever it is. Alcoholism, drug addiction, you're scared of going back to prison, you're homeless. I've been there, man. Or woman. You've got this. I wholeheartedly believe you do. Even if it takes a few tries. You got this. Well, I hope everybody had an awesome Valentine's Day. I know that I did. Even if my wife doesn't know what's coming. And I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you're blessed. And I hope that those that are around you that love you are just surrounding you with their love and their care, which sometimes can be tough. But if they're there, they got you. Always remember, if we're going to change the world, we have to see others first and then change ourselves. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you Friday.